Have you ever seen a building in Piggy Build Mode on a 45-degree angle? Have you ever seen a track? Well, I'm about to show you for the first time, if you haven't seen it already, those things and more in this Piggy. Hello and welcome to Piggy Plus. If you are new here, we do Piggy Build Mode, secrets, tips, tricks, and even more. So make sure you start now by subscribing to Piggy Plus and tapping the bell icon to be notified when we upload it. So we got a few major updates to talk about and we got a few minor updates to talk about. Some really quick little simple things did all the difference, and then we got the first thing we're going to talk about is this entrance that we've been waiting for a while now. I told myself, hey, this is gonna happen, we're gonna do it, we're gonna change the front of this hotel building, because we used to have the same road come out and was our driveway. We didn't have any special texture, we didn't have any incline here, it was just that. Now we have this nice grass and stone texture that you see in, many expensive property. We have this nice looking carport. A bunch of these little details, ever so slightly, are inspired off of a few of the different hotels along the Las Vegas Strip. And that's basically what we got. We got a nice bold choice for a torch right here as lighting. I don't know if that'll stay, but I think it's very interesting and a great place to use it. Of course, we got this nice skylight right here, and then we have ceiling textures. We don't do that much. We don't do texturing for the ceilings often in this map. So it's great to see that we're finally coming back to it and doing it. And let's go to a long-awaited project we've been talking about for so long, and I wanted to start building it, and now we're finally doing it. We got the underground train station. So this building goes down 2 stories, but the thing about it is, why you may ask, why is it so short relative to all the other buildings? Why is it not that tall? Because of course it goes underground, but that's not just to say that the first floor is above ground and that goes all underground. Everything tries to go underground, but it looks so funky. I came up with this interesting backstory that this building was an old colonial building that was built around the founding of this town, and over time the ground gave way and the building kind of sank right into it, and now this is what's left of it. So township gathered the remains and restored what they could and turned it into the home of mass transit in the city. This is only starting progress right now. We got a place under here where the train would come up. We'd have a built train right out here. In it, you can walk in it. One way, there's a portal. On the other end, there's also a portal. Well, one portal will take you to the previous station, because there's gonna be about 5 stations in the city, and then the other portal will take you to the next station. That's basically how it works for all of the stations. Except this will definitely be the largest of all the stations. And there's also another entrance from the hotel parking garage, the KLVY News Center that we built. It was very hard to access. No one went in it. It had very limited detail if you ever did get access to it. So we finally upgraded it. We added a whole story to it. We actually pushed it back in this direction. We pushed it back this way a few blocks. And so what we did out front right here is this is inspired off of another large news tech company in New York City. Sometimes in the mornings they might want to do the morning broadcast outside, and so we called this Sᴜභ Square. And then inside here, take you into the first room. You got the lobby, and this is all blocked off for sound purposes. And we got the main studio, the largest studio. Right here we got the morning set right here, the morning news set. About 3 anchors. They all sit here and talk about the news. And then of course it's not a morning news segment without the weather. So the meteorologist would stand in front of the green screen and they look off to this screen to know where to point onto the green screen. It's a real thing. They do that. And then of course at night, you got the late night talk show comedy host, some really funny guy, and then he may even have a celebrity or a special guest on the show with him who would sit right there. And of course it's not a comedy late night show without John a live studio audience. We're going to get to that in a second. First, we're going to talk about the sound. The sound room has a lot in it. We got computer towers, we got monitors, of course we have the live in-studio audience, but since they can't get a good view of the set, we have a live feed going onto this large screen right here. And along the mezzanine, we have the traffic report studio, for lack of a better term. We got the cameras, lights pointing onto a nice intersection in the city. Speaking of all these lights and cameras, we got a control panel for them all. And we got a maintenance mezzanine right here to get across, and they got more cameras and lights. Upstairs we have the office department. So I made sure everything is much more vibrant. We crammed as many desks as possible while still making it feel like an open environment. So what the whole reason behind this mezzanine thing, that kind of this framework around here, is that the structural framing of the building had these gray beams going along the perimeter of the walls, around here. And I couldn't get rid of them. So that was initially what I was gonna say. Well, let's get rid of this stuff so we can open up the space more and bring the carpets out a little bit more. But I didn't want to do that because I'd be exposing so many different blocks, and then I'd have to patch them up, and at that point you might as well just keep them. So I extended this structural beam out, and now it's more of a mezzanine. It really doesn't serve much of a purpose. But on this side over here, we got a nice view of the press briefing room at the city hall. We got a bunch of cameras pointed in there, and then over here we got the prime time news center. So one of their best anchors stand in front of one of their best backgrounds, and that's basically it for the 3rd story. Now of course you see the skylight. Upstairs there is nothing. We may add a few HVAC units, but that's basically it. Speaking of Mount Sᴜභ that I mentioned earlier, there's a private resort type thing, recreational area up here. Now this is the first and only time I've built or seen something be built for a diagonal of 45-degree angle building. This is something I've thought of. I've never written down because I didn't know if it was possible. So I tried it out. Now it definitely does work, as you can see, but we walk inside. Look at this. You're not given a whole lot of space. It would be very ideal to also have bathrooms in this, but of course there's not much space. You can also walk down here, and then out here we're gonna add maybe a restroom, playground, some picnic tables, and then we'll definitely add in a lookout, observation kind of not tower, like little perch. You can look out onto the beach and the great views that you can get from this mountain. And then on this end, if we cross this nice wood bridge where you can get a good view of the waterfall, you go across it, I'm probably just gonna add a baseball field here. Now here is what we've been waiting for, the airport. This is probably the biggest update, and it's the only one we're still working on for the most part, but so far we've gotten most of this departure building done. So let's take you guys right inside. This is themed after Disney's Wilderness Lodge, like loosely, certain parts more than others. So inside we got this nice tree. There's some backstory, some history behind this tree, but there's a certain grove of trees. Most of them have gone extinct. They're extremely rare and native to this area. And then the whole point is the buildings are going to be built around them, and they're going to be preserving the life of these trees by putting ample water around them, and then having get some natural light into these plants. Here's where all the airport companies would have their baggage drop off. Let's go check out and see what's up on the second floor. Escalator you take, you are forced against your will go on this side of this fence. So then the lanes merge, of course. As we know, you can't go onto an airplane nowadays without going through security.
9/11 changed everything, Brian.
Different security monitors, and then conveyor belts to scan and make sure your items are safe. And if they're not, right here and maybe over here, we'll have a table and maybe like a few desks for the TSA agents to do further investigation. But otherwise, if you're good to go, you continue along this side of the fence. Of course, once you make your way over, you can proceed across what will be the skywalk. The skywalk will connect perfectly, seamlessly, without having to angle off. So then they both cross the river. On the first story, we got a bunch of different trucks, vehicles, and mechanisms loading and unloading stuff off of the airplanes. And then on the second floor, we got high ceilings, we got bright windows, we got amazing views of the beach. And then from there, we'll have the runway right here, and we'll have at least a tree or two, and then a fireplace or two at each end and in the front. In the middle, we'll have another window similar to this. We'll have a strip mall inside of it. We'll have a bar and grill, a bunch of different shops and eateries. The airplane would come here, go across what would be a creek right here, and it would unload right here. The baggage claim would be on the second floor. It would be high open ceilings, just like the gate terminal. This would be the arrival building. It wouldn't be necessarily as large as the plot of land suggests it would be. The second floor would be probably about this square right here, or actually more like this square, because the road would be covered by the second floor. The road would continue going out here into what will be the parking garage. The parking garage on the first floor will be a little bit wider in this direction than it will be on the second floor. Right back here, we're gonna have a bar and grill similar to Geyser Point and Wilderness Lodge. If you want to see a review of these individual buildings separately, I have a link to a playlist called My Huge Piggy Build Mode Map. That's in the description. You can go check that out, or you can click the card right here. We have full reviews on each one of these buildings on their own. And of course, if you want to see more great content like this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe, but also press the notification bell on so that you won't miss any live streams, because we do a lot of build mode segments where we just build for hours live. And I'm sure you don't want to miss that. So make sure you go and do that. I will see you in the next episode. And as always, comment for more content. You have been watching this on Piggy Plus.